Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, we're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as y'all know, the Meg Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez trial has been underway, with a lot of shocking news that have come forward as to what actually happened the night Meg was allegedly shot by Tory Lanez. So far, the key witness between the two has been Kelsey Harris, who was there the night everything went down, and she has released some information during her testimony that has had everyone side-eyeing Meg's testimony because their stories have not been matching up. In the beginning of the trial, Kelsey was set to testify against Tory Lanez. But after Meg took the stand, it seems like things have changed, and instead, Kelsey was almost confirmed everything Tory Lanez has said was in fact true. Now, although Meg Thee Stallion's story went against her own defense team story, people are beginning to think that Kelsey is purposely acting like she has amnesia and throwing this trial purposely to get back at Meg Thee Stallion. Now, the real question here is why? Well, here's some of the reasons people are accusing Kelsey of throwing this trial and trying to make Meg Thee Stallion look bad. Now, on December 15th, hours after Kelsey Harris' second day of testimony in the Tory Lanez trial, a tweet went viral detailing Kelsey's husband, Darian Smith, that has close ties to Meg Thee Stallion's ex-manager, Carl Crawford, of 1501 Entertainment. Now, the same person who she is in a separate legal battle with to this day, that's who that is, her old ex-manager. Darian Smith, aka D-Boy, works for 1501 Entertainment along with Carl Crawford and is an executive producer with Erica Banks as his artist under him that he manages. Now, a Twitter user pointed such things out when they tweeted, quote, "I think it's important to note and could further explain Kelsey's reluctance and bad memory on the stand. Kelsey's husband works for 1501 with Carl and Jay Prince and is currently Erica Banks' manager, the very same label that has been at legal odds with Meg Thee Stallion." Then that same account went on to repost Reels, which is a video on Instagram that saw Crawford and Jay Prince Jr. partying with Tory Lanez, who is currently the suspect in this particular case. Now, the video was posted to the official 1501 IG account on April 18th of this year. Now, the reposted video came from another user who also captioned, quote, "Here's the reason why Kelsey is throwing this trial. She's currently engaged in mothering a child of a 1501 label certified executive. Yes, the same label that is actively in a lawsuit against Meg Thee Stallion. Sad how they're trying to sabotage this woman's career." Now, Meg Thee Stallion's ex-manager Carl Crawford caught wind of people trying to tie his affiliation with Kelsey's husband into the case, and he responded via Instagram saying, quote, "So I'm guessing things aren't going too well in court, so now it's time to blame 1501. Now, let's be clear, y'all. In all fairness, this can be seen as a conflict of interest, and these Twitter users are in fact correct. However, knowing how the industry operates, these users were sent to make these posts and sway the public's mind into believing that same narrative. Now, Kelsey can be thrown this case. It is a possibility because anything is possible, but that still don't negate the fact that Meg Thee Stallion has lied numerous of times. Her story didn't even add up with her own defense's team story, and no one's asking Kelsey the infamous question, if you ask me. If you and Meg were best friends, what made y'all suddenly fall out as friends after the night Meg was shot? Right? I think that question will lead up to other questions that we could ask and further kind of like, make sense of everything that's going on instead of just tiptoeing around certain questions. Now, do I believe that Kelsey is throwing the case? No, because if she was throwing the case, she would put everything pretty much on Tory, if anything. Instead of her trying to plead the fifth and get immunity. When somebody gets immunity and they plead the fifth, that's because they're trying to cover their tracks. It's not because it's somebody else's blame. They're trying to cover their own tracks when they plead the fifth and is granted immunity. So is she throwing the case? No, I think she's just telling the truth, but a tactic that Meg's defense team is using, the fact that she has some type of affiliation with somebody on the other side that Meg is actually in an active lawsuit with. So it makes sense, and it is a good tactic on Meg's defense team behalf. So I can't even say nothing about that, to be honest with you. Now, also what I think is, when it comes to throwing the case, I wouldn't say that Kelsey is throwing the case, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. I think that her defense team realized that after Meg went up there and bombed, it made no sense to sit there and have Kelsey agree with anything Meg says. You know, because first of all, from the beginning of everything, remember Kelsey was on Tory Lane's side in the beginning. Then it kind of took a turn when we heard that she was actually testifying against him. So now when she actually gets up there, she's pretty much confirming everything that Tory said to be true. And honestly, judging from what Meg said and what Kelsey said and what Tory said, it sounds like Kelsey is actually telling the truth. You know, because her story adds up with Tory Lane's story. Meg's story keeps changing. So, you know, to say that she's throwing it, I don't think so. Once again, I think that she was going to actually testify against Tory, but then Meg went up there and bombed. And her defense team told her, listen, it makes no sense for you to sit there and testify against him, because Meg went up there and proved that she's pretty much lying. Everybody feel that Meg is lying from her story. So for you to sit there and agree with her, it would make you seem like you lying just as much. So it wouldn't make sense for her to, it wouldn't be in her best interest to sit there and side with Megan in the first place. But I don't think it has anything to do with siding. I think that she's actually telling the truth, but a defense tactic on Meg's behalf, they're pretty much, you know, making it seem like she has some type of affiliation, in which she actually does. So it's just it's a good tactic, man. To be honest with you, judging from everything, it seems more like Meg and Kelsey has issues more than Tory and Meg. You know, Kelsey keeps pleading the fifth, one immunity. That has nothing to do with Tory. You know, it's more like she's protecting herself. You know, the DNA expert already stated that Tory's DNA was inconclusive to that found on the weapon. However, a woman's DNA was present, and that's our first time hearing that. You know, so I don't know what's going to come out of this. Once again, let's just see, man. This thing just keeps getting more and more interesting. It's like a Netflix series. You know, at this point, it don't seem like Tory got much to do with it. It's starting to get more and more like a Kelsey versus Meg situation to me. You know, it seems like they don't want to tell us that Tory didn't have anything to do with it. But at the same time, they can't just tell us that because of everything that's been going on in the past. So, like I said, let's see what comes out of it. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel. Do y'all think that Kelsey's affiliation with somebody from 1501 is what's making her have this amnesia or not saying certain things and pleading the fifth? Or do y'all think that Kelsey actually has something to do with it, and that's just it? It ain't, you know, sided with anybody or nothing. It's just, you know, what it is. All right, jump in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.